Hello, thank you for tuning in. You are tuned in to The Encourager, and my name is Nehru. I want to first thank you, subscribers and new listeners. I want to just quickly share, and I actually haven't even written these two dreams down yet, so I'm grabbing the journal that I'm currently writing in to add these two dreams that I had actually early this morning. My spirit woke me up at 3:26, and so I was meditating, and then eventually, after the meditating, I went back to sleep. I fell back asleep, but I had two dreams. One of those dreams, and they were very short. So one of those dreams, there was a large group of us, and we were in a building, and in one room of this building, whether it was a courthouse or it was a large room like a sanctuary, like a church or something, right? And this judge walks in, okay, like the physical judge that we have in our legal system today. So the judge walks in, and he says, "Can you come with me?" Right? To me. And I said, "Yeah, okay." And I began to walk. I began to follow the judge. And everyone who's there knows that it's the time of judgment, and it's the time of the revealing. It's the time of my inheritance being returned to me, or anything else that was stolen, money through PPP loans, using my social security number for life insurance, withholding the inheritance that my grandparents left me, money that the ex-false flame stole, again, through PPP loans, and using my EINs from my companies and all of that sort of thing. And everyone who was there knew it. And again, there was a crowd of people. And so I began to follow this judge, I guess, into his chambers or wherever we were going, into the courtroom, right? And in fact, that room that we were in, now that I think more about the details, that room that we were in was more like the courtroom. And I was following him to his chambers or something, right? And so they're cheering and everything, and I raise my hand up as I'm walking, as I'm walking out of the room. I kind of raised my right hand, and I kind of gave a couple of fist pumps, right? And they were, again, the people who were back there cheering, I don't remember any of the faces or anything. I don't remember what the judge looks like. But I remember that was the moment when everything was about to be revealed and be returned to me. And so today, that's where I am, certainly. I don't know who's in my corner cheering, but that's where I am today. And I'm literally just sitting, waiting for that phone call, waiting for that visit from that investigator, waiting for that letter in the mail, or whatever that is going to be, right? Just waiting for that. And so I know that that's right around the corner. I had another confirming dream a couple of days ago in regards to receiving something, okay? And so Most High is definitely showing me where we are in these steps and stages, because unfortunately, and this is something that's challenging for me to accept, but unfortunately, to some degree, Most High is even subject to man's laws. So man has a process here. Render to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, right? So to some degree, he abides by the laws until supernatural influence needs to be done, okay? So your paperwork that's sitting on a desk far longer than it has to, it suddenly appears on someone else's desk, tomorrow. Why? Because whoever it was sitting there, they were dragging ass. Okay, so he needs somebody else. Come on now, people. Humans, let's go. Humans, let's go. I have a son out there. I have a daughter out there. Okay, they're waiting on this process. All right, get to moving. Come on, let's go. Police officers, FBI, judges, attorneys, get off your ass. Let's go. I got people out here. I got, again, my sons, my daughters, my light workers, my earth angels, my star seeds, my healers, my empaths. You know, they're out here. They're 144. They're working for me, right? They are owed this. I'm not the only one. That's why I'm speaking like this. Okay, and so, yeah, and so the other dream, I found pretty interesting. So the other dream, I know for sure that I was really in between like the full sleep, awake space, right? I was definitely in that space. I do a lot of time travel and that when I'm sleeping and time jumping and all that sort of thing, even when I'm meditating. But in this case, very simplistic dream that says a lot. So I know a gentleman who was married to my other mother. I call her my other mother, M-O-M. And her name is Barbara. Barbara King is her name. She passed in 2020. And, yeah, she was literally that to me. Literally that to me. Okay? I've known her, like I said, like her son, her daughter, her husband, whose name is Mark, since 1992. Okay? So, they or she married Mark, and they were married for some 30 something years, 2, 3, 4, 5, some. They were married for a long time. Okay, before she passed, and she passed because due to the scientific reason is cancer. Okay, and I was honored to be there and spend some time with her. Literally just, I don't know, probably 48 hours before she passed, 30-something hours before she passed. And got to hold her hand and talk to her and share some tears and with her and Amy and Scott and Mark and Rachel and just, yeah. So anyway, in this dream, and I'm going to bring up a very good point. I don't know if they listen to my channel. I know they know I have a YouTube channel. I don't know if any of them listen to it, but if they do, they're going to agree with what I say. They may not ever verbally say it, but I know they're going to agree with what I say. So the gentleman she married, like I mentioned, his name is Mark. Mark is a military guy too, but Mark is more than a little pig-headed. So, full disclosure, Mark is the kind of guy who you can't tell anything to. He already knows it. Okay? So, we would even have, I prepared and filed their taxes for a number of years, which I was honored to do when they came to me, I don't even know when, 2018 or 19 or something. I was really honored because I know what level of trust that takes, especially when you know someone personally, to turn over for them to know how much you make, how much you get paid. Like, that's a personal thing. And so I was honored, and I'm always honored whenever someone chooses me to do anything accounting-wise, tax-wise, or anything with their money. I'm honored because, again, they're sharing their personal information with me. Okay? And outside of me walking around with their DNA, having their social security number and everything, and their family members, you can't get much closer to a family than that, as far as sensitive information is concerned. Okay? So I'm always honored. But in the dream, we're in this room, and it was me, him, maybe Scott. I know there was another male in there, and the image, as I remember the dream, that that image is not crystal clear, I tend to think it was Scott, although I don't know. Okay? But I can't be 100% on that. It could have been their father, whose name is Bob. By the way, I send prayers to him, and peace, and the health challenges that he's dealing with at this time. And I won't mention what those are, but yeah. So much love to you. And again, I've known him since 1992. Okay. And so we're in this room, and Mark says something. He challenges me in some way. And so when we were teenagers, he's always been a big guy. You know, he's always a beer belly, big guy, but he's a strong guy, right? He's an engineer, but he's a strong guy. And so when we were teenagers, you know, he would get us in headlocks and stuff like that. And I remember having a conversation with him, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago about him being able to take me now. And I really laugh at that. Because I look at, and I'm thinking, you're 56 and I'm 43. You really think you got that in you? You really think you got that in you? I'd whoop your ass so fast with a Roy Jones combination, you wouldn't know what the fuck hit you. Like, I'm not, and I literally told him, I'm not 16, Mark. I will beat your ass today. You know what I mean? And so it's funny in this dream that he shows up as the opposition. Because, again, he's someone who you can't tell anything to, right? It took him a while to understand, or I think to believe, that I knew more about the tax code than he did when I started doing their taxes, okay? Because he's just one of those people. He thinks he already knows it all. No one can tell him anything, okay? By the way, that type of individual needs to be self-employed, and they don't need employees. That's a difficult employee to have. Someone who thinks they already know everything. That's not an easy person to work with or live with. Kudos to Barbara. I don't know how she did it for 3+ decades, you know. And again, I don't know if they listen to the channel, but if they hear this, they are definitely going to agree with me because non-verbally, we all knew that. we all understood that, right? And so he's just one of those people. And so in this dream, he tells me that, again, he challenges me, like he could take me, or he could something dumb, something stupid. Right. And I'm laughing in the dream. I'm like, okay, Mark, whatever, dude. I wish you would. You know, you were in the military. I was in the military. Let's go ahead and put our combat training to use. All right, let's do that. Okay. And let's see where we end up. Let's see. Let's find out. Let's find out. I haven't knocked a motherfucker out in a long time. The last time I punched somebody, I was in the military because he had a smart-ass mouth, right? And so I punched him in the mouth. I literally punched him. We were standing in line, and I punched him in the face. I was at Fort Gordon in Georgia. I was changing my MOS. I was on my second enlistment, and this kid just wouldn't shut up. I punched him in the mouth. And we had to go talk to the liaison. The liaison, I think I was what was my rank at the time? Was I an E5 already? No, I was an E4. And, the liaison said, yeah, we know all of it. He let that guy go after he talked to both of us. And he said, Specialist Thomas, he said, yeah, we're familiar with that guy. He causes trouble in his class. He wasn't in my class, He was just someone who was waiting on the transportation to take us back to the barracks. But he was talking junk. Again, I'm not a debater. I don't sit there and, well, you're going to do. No, I'm not that. I wasn't that when I was a kid. Growing up in the projects, I didn't have time to talk. Let's put fists where your mouth is. Let's do that. Okay? And so yeah, I just thought it was funny that I had that dream, and here is someone, and again, he could symbolize something else, someone else coming against me, trying to challenge me, right? Because that's the enemy, trying to challenge me for my stance in whatever it is, my stance on spirituality, my stance against religion, my stance against the legal system, my stance against whatever it is that I'm speaking on. All right. So again, those are two dreams that I had in the last 8 hours. Okay. That Most High has shown me that are revealing and kind of funny. All right. Thank you so much for listening. My name's Nehru. Tune in again next time. And as always, be encouraged.